NFTs rely on this technology to ensure the uniqueness of their artworks, and cryptocurrencies rely on this technology to secure the transactions between people and businesses. What is this revolutionary technology that is slowly being accepted all over the world? And what else can we do with it besides NFT and cryptocurrencies? Let's find out as we delve into one of the greatest inventions in the digital world. In the simplest terms, blockchain refers to a special type of database that is transparent, secured, decentralized, and permissionless. For many things, it is a ledger where all transactions or any kind of information are stored. But what do all these mean? Transparent, because everyone can see it. By everyone, I mean anyone who can use a computer will most likely have a way to access and see any and all information stored in the blockchain. Secured, because blockchain uses something called cryptography, of which we will cover later on. Decentralized, because we no longer have to rely on traditional institutions like banks to ensure our funds or data. For example, in cryptocurrency, you hold and own your funds in a secure manner instead of holding your funds in a bank where you are given large fees for withdrawing or transacting with other people, and they are even more prone to hacking. That is one of the more common misconceptions in crypto and blockchain, especially in the Philippines. You fear the scenario where your funds get hacked, but in fact, banks are way worse at defending against hacks. We should embrace new technology to defend against new technology, not relying on older ones like centralized banks to defend against the new way of attacking like hacking. Now for the fourth definition, permissionless. Cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin require only a computer and the necessary software to view transactions. You can mine for Bitcoin, trade Bitcoin, hold Bitcoin. Everyone is allowed to do all that, as opposed to permissioned ledgers like in banks, where you'd have to be given clearance to access and view transactions. This requires a large amount of trust to be given to a bank if we're going to leave money with them and use their services for transacting with other businesses or people. I mentioned cryptography earlier on, and we will be delving into that now. Blockchain uses a particular type of cryptography called cryptographic hash function. This is the method that secures and binds every block to a previous and following block. It also ensures the validity of the data in a block. You can imagine the hash function as a fingerprint, with each block containing a fingerprint of the previous block. With this, if any malicious actor changes the fingerprint of a block, the blocks next to it also changes. And since the blockchain is a transparent database, everyone can see these changes and they would probably just ignore it. But more on that. Blockchain is decentralized in a way that so-called nodes or machines connected to the network hold their own copies of the blockchain. In fact, in cryptocurrency, you can also be a node if you hold a copy of the blockchain in something called a crypto wallet, which is also called a light node. So, a malicious actor would actually have to change every single copy of the blockchain to actually change it to suit what they need. And Bitcoin, for example, has thousands of these nodes all over the world. And there are even hidden nodes that are not visible to the network. This makes blockchain near impossible to hack or attack with today's level of computers unless you have hundreds of years in your lifespan and you want to waste your immortality doing that. Back to the nodes. In cryptocurrency, the nodes would act as a middleman instead of the bank. These are machines that would confirm and validate the transactions. There are still fees, called gas fees, but for most cryptocurrencies, these are negligible and extremely cheap compared to traditional banks. There's also the public key cryptography. That is also another way to secure your funds in cryptocurrency and blockchain. There are a lot of technical jargon involved in explaining it, but basically, public key cryptography is used to prove your ownership of your funds, much like in holding real cash. If you don't have the cash, you don't have the money. If you have your private key to your crypto, then you own your crypto. So don't ever tell anyone about your private key. There's also the process of making your private key into a public key, then hash the public key to create a public address for transaction. But most people wouldn't need to understand the technicalities of it. The most important thing is to keep your private key secure and safe. There are also plenty of instructions online on how to transact with crypto, even using QR codes and such if you really want to know the technicalities of it. There are plenty of ways for blockchain to improve our lives. For example, in finance, we are already seeing its effects today. More and more people are using cryptocurrency, and we are seeing an unprecedented normalizing of using it for trade. Even traditional institutions like banks are welcoming the idea of using blockchain technology for its operations. With the advent of blockchain technology and Web 3.0, we can now finally own our digital identity. What does this mean? It means that we can now own our data and selectively reveal information to third parties or central authorities if we only want to or need. We would no longer need to sacrifice our privacy, and we would be able to secure our tendencies like what we watch, what we buy, what we search on the internet. Now, if you've already thought of this, then you'd be right. Blockchain in distributing file systems or file storages would be a very efficient way of filing your data. You can upload and store and access files like in cloud storage solutions, but it would be more transparent, it would be more efficient, and it would be less vulnerable to attacks than centralized servers and accidental data loss. With all that said, how about blockchain in the Philippines? For starters, in governance, it could be a reliable mechanism for distribution of funds and goods in all regions in the Philippines. And in a better form of democracy, it would be more transparent, more efficient, and it could be used in voting, possibly. We would also be less vulnerable to corruption because of its transparency. And next, we could also be using more secure versions of Gcash, Paymaya, and etc., who are using centralized servers instead of blockchain technology. And finally, we will only be increasing our reliance on the internet and machines. So why not make sure that we still keep our privacy? If you liked watching this video, then please subscribe to our channel and click that bell button so that you know immediately when we post a video that could help you on your crypto journey. And also, please leave a like and a comment down below just to show your appreciation or ask us anything about the video. We love to interact with people who also love to learn more about crypto. Thank you for watching, and once again, this has been Crypto Project, and we deliver to you the best content from the point of view of a very passionate Filipino who loves all things crypto and the future we can find in it. See you all again soon, and have a good day.